Impaired driving charges following a fatal crash. New details emerging about a head-on collision in Ottawa's West End. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. A woman is dead and a man is facing impaired driving charges following a crash in Ottawa's West End last night. It happened on Carling Avenue near Ullswater Drive. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with more. Katie.
Well, Stefan, this happened just after 7 o'clock last night. Police say the driver failed a roadside breath test and was arrested at the scene. You can see the horrific aftermath of the collision between a passenger van and an SUV. A 52-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the scene. 31-year-old Vicente Ramos has been charged with impaired operation of a vehicle causing death and dangerous operation causing death. None of the allegations have been tested in court. The president of the Ottawa chapter of Mothers Against Drunk Driving continuing to share their message, but wishing they didn't have to.
This is so unnecessary. It's a heartbreak for a family. It's a long-term heartbreak. It just won't be over by the time the court case is finished.
We're going to take this opportunity to remind everyone that driving is a privilege. And with that privilege comes the responsibility to drive sober. Keep our roads safe. Protect your neighbors. Protect your loved ones. Drive sober or plan a different ride home.
Ottawa police say in the first 2 months of this year alone, 139 drivers have been charged with impaired driving offenses. The accused was set to appear in court this morning. Police are asking anyone who witnessed the crash or who may have footage to contact them. Stefan.
CTV's Katie Griffin reporting live for us. Thank you, Katie.
Welcome.
As Cuba faces widespread blackouts and shortages, an Ottawa dance studio is stepping in to help raise money for humanitarian aid. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more on this. Caitlin.
Yes, Stefan, it comes just months after a hurricane hit the island. Now, fuel shortages, U.S. sanctions, and an aging power grid are making daily life in Cuba increasingly difficult. Joaquin Panetta moved to Canada 25 years ago from Cuba and opened his own dance studio, Pure Havana, a couple of years ago. He says conditions on the island are getting worse for his family who've been living without basic essentials. In recent days, widespread blackouts have left millions without electricity, cutting off access to food, water, and medical supplies. Last weekend, he hosted a fundraiser at his studio, raising more than $1,600 for Ottawa Cuba Connections.
It's basically a volunteer organization that they raise funds to help Cuba, to send in medical equipment, medical items, food. Now they're focusing more like sending solar panels, because this is one of the best ways to, find energy, solar energy, right?
International aid is also starting to arrive, including medical supplies and equipment aimed at restoring basic services. Officials in Cuba and the U.S. have sat down for recent talks, but so far few details have been released. Stefan?
All right, CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us. Thank you, Caitlin. After a bit of a rebound to start off the year, confidence in small businesses across the country is slipping again as rising fuel and energy costs go up amid uncertainty from the war in Iran. A new report shows many owners are feeling the strain and pivoting operations as a way to recover. CTV's Kimberly Fowler is here with an update. Kimberly.
Well, Steph, that study done by the Canadian Federation of Independent Business finds that confidence has dipped to one of its lowest points in recent months for Canadian small businesses. Overall costs, the conflict in the Middle East, and the rapid price jumps in fuel continue to eat into owners' profits. The CFIB report shows that nearly 6 in 10 small businesses are concerned about rising energy costs, and when costs go up, something's got to give.
As cost of transportation goes up, that means the cost of the input product is eventually passed down to the small business owner, who can only absorb it for so long until they themselves have to pass it down to their customers.
Higher operation costs for small businesses are also being offset by holding off on hiring and delaying investments. Now, the study goes on to say that Canada's small businesses aren't collapsing, but they are bracing for a tougher road ahead. Now, Canadian businesses, again, they aren't pushing the panic button just yet, but fuel prices are one of their biggest concerns this past month. And with the uncertainty over the war in Iran, there's no telling when or if gas prices will go down. Steph.
We're all feeling it. Thank you for the update, Kimberly. Ottawa's ramping up to possibly test bus-only lanes on Bank Street in the Glebe neighborhood. The move comes as the city tries to improve OC Transpo movement along the busy stretch. A report recommends bus-only lanes northbound on Bank Street between Homewood Avenue and Pretoria and between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. Also, a bus-only lane southbound on Bank. That one would be between Powell Avenue and Homewood Avenue during the afternoon rush, starting at 3 p.m. and ending at 6 p.m.
It is desperately needed. The traffic up and down Bank Street has just gotten even worse and worse. It's better than nothing. Get rid of the cars because it's all drive-through traffic, and we need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, functioning bus lanes.
The report also recommends permanent 24-hour bus lanes to be installed on Bank Street in 4 areas, including around 4th Avenue and Aylmer Avenue. Meanwhile, a new report finds that Canada has dropped to 25th place in the World Happiness Rankings. Researchers are looking at whether heavy social media use among youth is impacting well-being as Canada's ranking continues to decline. Canada slipped to 25th place after coming in 18th last year, finishing behind the United States, which is ranked 23rd. The report finds Finland as the happiest country in the world.
Well, I think the foundation of our happiness is built on strong social systems, but also on the culture of well-being.
Those Nordic countries, they have a style of living, they're happy.
Finland, oh, I could see that too. But yeah, I don't know. I think we should have been a lot higher.
Canada ranked 5th on the World Happiness Report in 2014. The Ottawa Police Service says it has a multi-million-dollar hole in its budget, partly because the federal government will not reimburse the costs of policing demonstrations related to the Israel-Palestinian conflict. The service ran a nearly $29 million deficit last year, which includes a $6.5 million shortfall in funding from the federal government. The government does have a program to reimburse Ottawa police, but the service was told demonstrations tied to the Gaza conflict are not eligible. Amazon has confirmed to CTV News that it is now dismantling its Barhaven warehouse construction site. In a statement to CTV, Amazon says it has begun to disassemble portions of the existing structure at Bill Leatham Drive and Leakin Drive. Amazon goes on to say that it intends to rebuild the warehouse in a manner that ensures the building's design meets future requirements for operation. Construction started on the 3.1 million square foot facility last summer. Residents in the area say they have noticed the structure being taken apart slowly.
Now the building is coming down. We see it coming beam by beam by beam. It's been a slow process, but it is being dismantled. I don't think we really need another Amazon building there. They still haven't sorted out the traffic issues that it's going to cause. So as far as I'm concerned, if they don't build there, hey, great for me.
I hope they'll do something else with the site rather than, again, nothing against Amazon per se, just all the truck traffic. So I'm pretty excited to hear that it's being dismantled.
Amazon would not go into further detail about why the current progress made at the construction site would need to be dismantled. An opening date for the warehouse has not been announced. Coming up on CTV News at 5, we'll take a closer look at how heavy social media use is impacting young people's overall well-being. And our Jackie Perez is joining us live from the Museum of Nature. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. I know we forecasted flurries, but didn't anticipate just the steady flow of it moving through. It is likely to taper off, but if you hate it today, sorry for tomorrow in advance. Taking a look now, temperatures sitting around 1 degree. It's slightly warmer along the seaway, 3 degrees in Kingston, 5 in Brockville and Cornwall. Temperatures hovering around the freezing mark. Really for the rest of eastern Ontario. Overnight, -5, partly cloudy skies. It is tomorrow, though, that we are anticipating, yes, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. And this is on the first day of spring. When will it arrive here and how long will it last? We'll have those details for you and much more later on the show. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. Catch the Ottawa 67's next home game this Saturday afternoon at TD Place Arena. The Barber Poles take on the Kingston Frontenacs in round 1 of the OHL playoffs. Puck drop is 3 p.m. Visit the 67's website for tickets. A live check on traffic right now. The westbound lanes of the 417 slow going from Bronson to Pinecrest. Eastbound is slow around Innis, and the 174 eastbound heading out to Orleans has moderate volume from the split to Montreal Road. You're watching CTV News at 5.
Tonight, an exclusive W5 investigation. 4 Canadians behind bars in Hong Kong claim they were set up. We tracked down their alleged recruiters.
I'm just a young kid trying to make a little bit of money.
Accused of tricking them into delivering cocaine-filled suitcases.
What did you think was in the suitcase?
W5 follows the trail from Hong Kong jail cells back to the Canadians accused of sending them there. Tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Welcome back. In case you missed it earlier, the annual World Happiness Report was published today by the University of Oxford, with Canada ranking 25th. The report highlighted how life evaluations for those under 25 years old here in Canada, the U.S., Australia, and New Zealand have dropped significantly over the past decade. Researchers point to heavy social media use as a key reason why. Today's radio question of the day is asking, do you think Canadians are happy?
Nordic countries invest in their people, while in Canada we invest in corporations. The wealth gap's never been larger. That's my opinion for the baseline of why happiness is down.
Christy Cameron is here with more. And Christy, like, it can sound like a bit of a loaded question, but it is also a fair question these days, considering how we've structured our lives.
Well, and clearly, according to the results of this survey, we're not, especially Canadians just under 25, because if you just look at Canadians 25 and under, we are 71st in terms of happiness on the list. Not very good. And I think there are some really deep, festering issues that are at play here. I mean, number one, the cost of living crisis, the affordability crisis. People that are concerned they're never going to have the same standard of living as their parents. They can't buy a house, maybe they're delaying having a family. Putting that aside, though, it's very clear across the board, Australia, New Zealand, that social media and doom scrolling is a huge factor in this. And, you know, I heard that loud and clear from people on the show today, people that are in their retirement years, people that are 25 and under, that their phones, well, they make you feel connected. They're also kind of a lonely place to be.
No, certainly.
You know, you're scrolling, you're not really picking up the phone and connecting with somebody, meeting up, going to a movie, going for a coffee. You're just endlessly spectating. It's like a spectator sport.
And people try to manage their own social media, and it's interesting to hear you speak to one of our colleagues on your show earlier who said they were working weekends and they were scrolling and they're seeing what everyone else was doing, and it just made them unhappy. So he got rid of Instagram.
I really do think the proof is in the pudding. A lot of people delete social media and they find that they're happier on the other side. I wouldn't know. I'm not one of them. But, you know, funny enough, I did get an idea from social media, from TikTok, Instagram, of a guy who goes out with his friends and he says, boys, we're taking it 90s tonight. And that means you leave your phone at home. So you go and you meet at the precise hour that you said you were going to. There's no, I'll be there in 5 because the person is already there. And then there's no scrolling. And there's no blue light, and there's no getting distracted. It's not even like putting your phone down at the dinner table. You just leave it at home.
We need payphones back.
Well, you might be able to find one out there. It's a rare sight. It's a rare sight to see a payphone, isn't it?
Thank you, Christy. You can join the conversation, leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy on YouTube at any time. Coming up on CTV News at 5, it's been unoccupied for more than a decade. Now there are calls for a decision to be made on what's next for the official Prime Minister's residence on Sussex Drive. Here's what you need to know. March break programming is on now at the Diefenbunker. Explore the historic spaces and check out a lineup of family-friendly activities. The Diefenbunker is open daily through Sunday. A live check on traffic right now. Very slow going in the westbound lanes around Churchill. We know that it starts to back up around Bronson and starts to lighten up in volume in the westbound lanes up the Queensway around Pinecrest. We'll be right back. Coming up tonight on CTV after the news, E-Talk starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, Next Level Chef at 8, followed by 911 Nashville at 9, and Grey's Anatomy at 10. Now for another check on the weather forecast, let's head back out to Jackie, who is live at the Museum of Nature for us. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. If you had a chance to go outside, anyone, the last day of winter, we see the flurries moving through, but Mother Nature is not done with us yet. Tomorrow, we are in for another blast of winter for the first day of spring. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We've got a flurries, rainy mix going on right now. It's about 1 degree, showcasing Parliament Hill, downtown Ottawa. And as we look towards our temperatures right now, we are back to seasonal temperatures, going down to about freezing mark for 9 o'clock, and it should linger the flurries and the rain showers. It should clear by midnight, though. Few clouds in the sky, but tomorrow morning around 7 a.m., it's going to feel closer to -12. It's around the noon hour, though, we want to pay attention to, because we've got a clipper moving through. So heavy snowfall anticipated between noon and about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Early forecast is showing between 5 to 10 centimeters, and that could make for a messy evening commute. The good news is, though, it will move quickly out of the region by around 6 o'clock, where we will see some cloudy skies. Now, across the region, in the valleys, temperatures sitting overnight around -7. Clear skies, snow also in the forecast, 2 degrees the daytime high for Pembroke and Petawawa. For the Seaway, -5 overnight. And yes, snow again, really, for all of Eastern Ontario. Kingston, Brockville, daytime high anticipated around 3 degrees. So, around 7 a.m., you are in the clear for your morning commute. It's really in that afternoon, just around the lunch hour, that we could see that heavier snowfall mixing in for Ottawa, Smiths Falls, Brockville. Kingston, though, keep an eye out. There is a chance that you can see the freezing rain mixed in with rain, and a chance for some isolated thunderstorms as well. So we're keeping a very close eye on this. But by the time we get into Friday, into Saturday, skies should be clear. Mainly cloudy skies are in the forecast. Now, taking a look at those 5 days, Saturday, 6 degrees, the daytime high, the warmest of the week. But we will be hovering around the freezing mark for most of the week. Sunday into Tuesday, temperatures hovering between 1 and 2 degrees.
Weather is brought to you by Manotick Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
All right, the Canadian Museum of Nature is where we're hanging out for the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock hour. Again, every Thursday, free until 8 p.m. And it is March break, so we are hoping to not only hang out with friends and family here, but also check out a new exhibit that is featured here at the museum. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Looking nice and busy down there at the museum. We'll talk to you at 6. Here's a look at the stories you're checking out right now on CTV News Ottawa.ca. You saw Jackie at the Museum of Nature there, but we know the museums have been very busy. March break is almost over, but if you are running out of ideas, our website has you covered. Editor's picks this week, things to do in Ottawa over the March break, a full list to get you through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We know it's been a busy time. Coming up for us here on CTV News at 5, what a new study on screen time reveals about kids and mental health. Also, if you need gas this evening, one of today's cheapest gas prices can be found at the Esso and Circle K station on 10th Line Road. Regular gas there is listed for 161.3 cents a liter. Here's another live check on traffic. We know the westbound lanes of the Queensway right now are very slow around Churchill. Things start to pick up around Parkdale, not easing up until you get out to Pinecrest in Nepean, and eastbound is slow around Innis. We'll be right back.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The temperature right now, 1 degree. And time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
We're going to take this opportunity to remind everyone that driving is a privilege.
A 31-year-old man is facing impaired driving charges following a fatal head-on crash in Ottawa's West End early yesterday evening.
I'm here to fight for Canada, to fight for our workers, our jobs, our steel, our aluminum, our lumber, our autos, and what better place to do it than on the biggest podcast in the world.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre making an appearance on the popular and controversial Joe Rogan podcast.
So now they're focusing more like sending solar panels, because this is one of the best ways to, find energy, solar energy, right?
As Cuba's 11 million residents continue to face massive blackouts and shortages of fuel and food, some Ottawa residents are stepping up to do what they can to help. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today. Heritage Ottawa is calling on the federal government to make a decision on the future of 24 Sussex. No prime minister has lived at the official residence since 2015. Work began a few years ago to address several serious health and safety issues. That work is complete, but the NCC estimates it would cost at least $36 million to restore the building to good condition. Heritage Ottawa says they would like the property to remain the official residence of the Prime Minister.
Net, I think she was anticipating maybe a wraparound there and was defending low and deep.
And they score again! Panic from Hustler!
It was not the outcome the Ottawa Charge were hoping for on the road last night in Minnesota. Ottawa was shut out by the Frost with a final score of 5-0 for Minnesota. The Charge played next on Sunday against Montreal. The game is in Winnipeg on the PWHL Takeover Tour.
Patterson to Shabbat. All kinds of traffic in front. Giroux has got it. Towards the net. Scores!
The Sens were on the road in Washington last night, and that would be their only goal of the night. The Capitals taking the win with a final score of 4-1. The Sens are back home hosting the Islanders tonight at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, at the Canadian Tire Centre last night, a special event introducing hockey to newcomers.
It's always in the news. It's always top of mind. So we think it's important to provide a night like this where we just go over the basics for people so they can get introduced to the game.
The Ottawa Senators organization hosting the event for new Canadians and others who have otherwise not been exposed to hockey. They learned the rules of the sport, heard about hockey's importance in Canadian culture, and watched the Sens game on the big screen. New data from Statistics Canada is outlining the impact screen time is having on children. Researchers studied the same cohort of kids in 2019 and 2023 and found that 44% followed the Canadian Pediatric Society's screen time guidelines, which are 2 hours for kids between 5 and 17 years old, 1 hour for kids between 2 and 5, and no screen time for kids under 2. Those who followed the guidelines were less likely to have anxiety, wear glasses, or have difficulty learning, remembering, and making friends. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join us for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National News starts right now.